Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to get this look. Alright, it's my Mulan look. I'll be posting a reference picture right here, right there, somewhere here. That way you guys can see exactly what it is I'm going for. And this is her geisha side, as well as this is her warrior side. I do hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Alright, so I'm going to be using my Wolf Face Art Special Effects Essentials palette, as usual, of course. That was such a long name for the palette. But anyway, I'm going to go first with a straight line with white. And I'm going to actually glue down my eyebrows. I'm going to show you guys how I do this, being that I never do. I'll do a full-length tutorial on it, but I'm just going to give you guys a little example of how I do this. Yep, I gotta listen to Mulan while doing this, guys. It's my favorite movie. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set my eyebrows before I go ahead with the paint, because I just really don't want it to move. As you guys can see, these brows ain't going nowhere, baby. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with some white face paint from the Wolf palette, and a little goes a long way, guys. I mean, these palettes, they come in like a small amount, but I mean, you can get a lot done with it. I would suggest not using the brush I used. It made it look really streaky. I would say go in with a sponge first, because now when I was going in with the sponge here to blend it out, it just was picking up product, so I had to keep going back and forth. Got lazy, gave up, you know, the whole drill. Alright, you guys are going to see that I'm starting to create the eyes. Now, I'm already Asian, so I already have a little bit of the slanted eyes going on, but I'm going to just elongate them, as you guys can see here. I'm using the color gray. In case I mess up, then I can just go over it with some white, and then of course later on I'm going to overline it with some black. And I'm going to do the same with the brows. In the picture they look this thick, but I noticed that in the movie they were a lot thinner, so maybe I should have done them thinner, but I didn't. Alright, so I'm not really sure if you guys are interested on a backstory on why I chose to do this particular look instead of just choosing between the geisha and warrior. I chose to do both and embody both because it was a great representation of her. I mean, I love the story of in the scene when they're creating the geisha look, it's to meet her matchmaker, to meet her husband, because they were having arranged marriages. Now, I'm not sure if that's how Chinese culture actually is. I'm from Thailand, so I'm not really too educated on Chinese culture, so I can't really say it. But in the movie, that's how they were presenting it. And she was a little bit of a train wreck, like any girl would be, any young girl, and I love that about her. And I love the fact that, you know, later on in the movie, they're going to send her father to war. He's very sick, though, and he is the only male of the family. So she just went ahead and disregarded both tradition and law by disguising herself as her father. And, you know, she wanted to go ahead and enlist in the army as him. That way he didn't have to. And I thought that was so beautiful that she would go ahead and defend her country and her father like that. You know, she broke so many different rules. So I think that was a great representation of women and all the great that we can do and how strong we actually are. So that's why I chose to do this look, guys. Alright, as you guys can see, I'm already outlining everything that I did with the gray. I'm outlining it now with black. Alright, so now I'm actually going to go ahead and create the eyeshadow that she had on her eyes by using the purple from the Wolf Essentials palette. I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in until it's nice and purple like I would like it. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and clean up all those lines and any parts that I may have messed up with some white face paint. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and dip our beauty blender into the pink face paint. I kind of went a little harsh with that, so I'm going to go back over that in a second once it dries. But that's pretty much all you have to do. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead with the NARS Cruella Lipstick and start filling in that one half of the lip. All right, so I'm filling in the lower lash line with some more white to make it seem like it's the actual eyeball, and make it a little bigger. Alright guys, and that is the geisha look. I already did my eyebrows for the warrior side. I'm now just going to go ahead with a makeup wipe and clean that line up so we can start putting on our foundation. Alright, so anytime I want to look a little more fair, I always go in with my L'Oreal Luminous Foundation in the color Porcelain. I don't even know why I own that, to be honest with you guys. But I know I'm a little more tan than Mulan was, so that's why I'm going in with this color here. All right, and now I'm actually going to go in with my absolute favorite corrector or even concealer, whatever. It's LA Girl Cosmetics in the color Yellow Corrector. All right, so I already blended everything out with my beauty blender. Now I'm just going to go over everything with a setting powder. Now we're going to go over the eyebrows exactly how we did on the other side. We're now doing the exact same thing we did on the other side, creating that eye shape, except we are not going to bring that black liner. You guys can use liner, by the way, but I'm using my black cream makeup. You guys just don't bring that all the way up like we did for the other one. The other eye, the only reason why we brought the black all the way across the eye was to create that eyeliner effect like she did when she had the geisha look. With this one, we're doing a more natural look because she didn't have any makeup on. So now we're just kind of creating that Asian eye illusion. I'm also going to go ahead with a little, I think this was black or brown, I'm not really sure, but I went in with my crease, and then of course later on I go ahead and blend that all out. I'm going in with my Milani, I think this is Bahama Beige, my absolute favorite. And I'm just tapping that. I'm not wiping that on because I want it to look more like a stain opposed to actual lipstick. All right, now we're going to go in with a very small amount of blush. And now we're going to go ahead and fill that part up with the white, which is supposed to be the eyeball. And don't forget to color in those lashes like you're going to see me do here. And now to blend, blend, blend for that crease. So I already cleaned up that one eyebrow, and of course I did my hair off camera. I did the one half, well, I did it all in a bun like I was supposed to, because in the picture she has the warrior side up in a bun as well as the geisha side up in a bun, except for the geisha side I left that one part out with the curl. Now what I'm doing, because of course I got that 5-head, you guys know my 5-head chronicles, I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Also, the reason why I'm doing this is to make it more cartoon-like. You guys will see this actually brings the entire look together and makes me look like a real cartoon. All right, so I was going to attempt to show you guys how I painted on the clothing, except I was doing this look for quite some time already. Actually, this was my very first YouTube tutorial that I started. I just didn't post this one first, and it was taking me a little while, and I was like, you know what? Scratch that. I no longer feel like doing the outfit, so I kind of gave up. That's why it looks screechy still and so undone, because I just gave up. Anyway, we're gonna go in. I'm gonna post a picture the way you guys can see it, but she, in this picture, has the sword in the middle of her face, separating the geisha and warrior side. So that's actually what I'm drawing on right now. I'm drawing on the sword. And you guys are going to see that I'm changing up the shades. So right now I'm adding the reflections and the shadows by going in with a black. I mix the black in with a little bit of white to make it a darker tone of gray. And I'm going in with one side of that, and well, on one side of that, and then you're going to see that I'm going to take some white paint to create the actual highlights of the sword and reflections of light, and do that on the other side of the sword.